Ladies and gentlemen, it's time! Hailing from the wrestling capital of the world, here are your hosts.
Oh yeah!
Dustin, 5-Star, his tag team partner, Eric McMahon.
A-Look, baby.
It's Grind City Wrestling.
Oh yeah! It is Grind City Wrestling, and welcome to episode 313, if you can believe that. I am Dustin Starr. Be sure to take that subscribe button to Slap City wherever you're watching or listening, especially on YouTube. Be sure to follow us at Grind City Media. Last week, I was chumming it up with one of the greatest of all time. Matt Hardy was here on Grind City Wrestling, so you can go check that out. This week, Devin is back. We've got the best wrestling that we watched all week. Elimination Chamber is this weekend, plus Grind City Wrestling Night with the Memphis Grizzlies. And we're going to be joined by the one and only James Ellsworth right here today. So let's not waste any time introducing my co-host, my tag team partner. He's an interviewer, kind of like a talking head. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Devin Walker, baby!
Hello, good people. I'm kind of salty I missed the Matt Hardy interview last week.
Did you see the end?
I am one of those people who I went viral for talking about his brother. I would have loved to talk to Matt Hardy himself.
Well, you know, I couldn't drop that.
I mean, you could have.
I couldn't be like, yo, hey, Matt, you know Jeff is a man of the people,
yeah,
bro?
I'd rather you not say it like that. That would have been weird.
Well, how am I going to ask him?
Like, you know what? He's Black America's favorite wrestler. How do you feel about that? Preferably that.
He would probably say, duh.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to love that clip to be out there. But, yeah, man, it was a dope interview. You did a great job. I would have loved to be there, but I was an all-star kind of doing my thing. But I'm back this week. A lot of things have happened. A lot of wrestling has happened. So, I mean, let's talk about it, bro. Probably one of the worst promos in a while happened, too. So let's talk about it.
We're definitely going to talk about it, but the thing that I love the most is towards the end of that interview.
Yeah, you got to do the thing. You got to do the thing with Matt Hardy.
Matt started it.
You got to do it.
He was like, what did he do? Like, ah!
Yeah, he was like version 1, whatever it's called. But you got to do the Hardy Boy thing with Matt Hardy. Like,
I love
that
it.
is a bucket list thing.
Matt Hardy.
You got to be one of the Hardy Boys.
Is going to be in Memphis this weekend.
I can't wait.
So he made the announcement last week on Grind City Wrestling right here that he's going to be at FedEx Forum this Saturday, March 1st. He's going to be taking part in Grind City Wrestling Night.
Yes.
First 5,000 fans get a Desmond Bain main wrestling buddy, and I wish I had one right here, but I couldn't find one anywhere in the building, so keeping those things locked up tight.
That's exclusive. Yeah, exclusive right now. But I mean, bro, it's gonna be a good night though. I'm excited to see Matt Hardy in the building, man. I as a wrestling fan, I'm not one to like take photos with people, but I'm gonna wear my Hardy Boys tee. I gotta take a photo with the.
I will take the photo for you.
I got it. I'm like, yo, I got this Hardy Boys tee on. We gotta take a photo, man. So
check it out. So 5 p.m. early, 5 p.m. outside in front of FedEx Forum in the plaza. There's gonna be Memphis wrestling matches taking place live. That's gonna be from about 5 to 6. You can head inside, get your Desmond Bain main wrestling buddy, and then at about 6:20, I'm guessing this, on the pregame with Casamigos, we're going to have more matches there inside the building. Matt Hardy said he's ready for some sort of action. Of course, there's always some sort of big halftime match where Super Grizz makes some sort of an appearance, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And you never know who might show up.
Wrestling is like one of my favorite nights, man. Like it's one of those things where, like, as a wrestling fan, it's one of those nights where you really get to kind of like have fun with things, right? It's like it's a night for wrestling to celebrate it because wrestling has such a big footprint in the Memphis area. A la Dustin 5-Star, you run one of the best company in Memphis, Memphis Wrestling. But I think it's fun, man. Like I know some people on the outside are like, oh, why they do the wrestling thing? Why they do the wrestling bit, bro? Memphis is the home of professional wrestling.
Man, even if you don't like wrestling and you're at this game, you have to at least smile at it.
Yeah, get a little giggle.
Because it's like, oh, they're fighting on the court?
It's funny because, like, if you...
They're going to have a match up there?
If you break down wrestling to, like... I mean, so we did our Chris Vernon show earlier today, and I joked with Tony Allen about it. I was like, so, Tony, are you excited for wrestling night? He was like, to be honest with you, these dudes wrestling in tights and... Blah, blah, blah. But... Whatever, cool. That's fine. But I think the simplistic versions of wrestling where there's a good guy, there's a bad guy, you cheer, you boo. I think it's the way life is set up, right? Yeah. It's like I have this phrase I use all the time: is everything is wrestling.
Right.
Everything we do in life is wrestling. There's a good guy, there's a bad guy, there's a cheering, there's a boo, there's a winner, there's a loser.
Everything's a work.
Everything's a work. Guys, everything we live, our lives are wrestling. So embrace it, enjoy it. Let's talk about some wrestling.
Yeah, so just for the fans out there that are coming and you're looking for tickets that are close to the ring, so if you go to memphiswrestling.tv, you click that banner, it's going to take you to the seats that myself and the Memphis Grizzlies picked that have the best view of the band stage, which will have the wrestling ring on it.
You got a little, okay.
Absolutely.
Look at
The
you,
fans told me, they said, hey, we want to sit together. Where could this happen? So I got together with the Grizzlies.
Hey, basketball fans, stay away from these people, bro.
Shout out to Carly, man.
Watch out for them, bro. Those are the real wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
When you see them all in the group, hey, watch out, man. Shout out to the Memphis Wrestling fans.
So go to memphiswrestling.tv, click that banner. Of course, you can get the tickets at the door. You can get the tickets at Ticketmaster and all that kind of stuff. But if you go to memphiswrestling.tv, then you're going to sit near the ring and also sit with other wrestling fans. Of course, this Sunday, Matt Hardy is doing a huge meet and greet. So I don't know if you're going to be able to meet Matt Hardy on Saturday, but definitely see him in action. And then on Sunday, it's going to be a very intimate setting at the Wrestle Center. You've been there. There's not a bad seat in the house.
Shout out to the Wrestle
and you
Center.
get to meet Matt Hardy right there, take a picture, get an autograph, and do all that. Get your meet and greet tickets at memphiswrestling.tv. And if that wasn't enough, Nick Nemeth is on the show this weekend. I feel like he was just in Memphis Wrestling, turning that footage around so you can watch it on Friday night and then also on Saturday. Nick Nemeth in Memphis Wrestling. All right.
Let's talk about it.
Best wrestling we watched all week, and then we're going to get James Ellsworth back on here. I haven't talked to James in a minute.
We're gonna talk about it. It's my best wrestling of the week, and I think I'm gonna start with my worst before I give my best, because I think it's worth it. It's the person that is involved in my worst wrestling is worth me bringing up, because he is the guy, right?
Okay.
He's the final boss, right?
Oh, wait a second.
He's the one who walked out to the block is hot. The block is also. It was a Two Americans moment in the wrestling community, because there are people on Twitter like, "Oh my God, listen to the Rock's new theme song." It was the Lil Wayne song, bro. It was the block is hot, you idiots.
Look,
but
I didn't know that we were going to sit here and disparage the good name of the great one.
we're not disparaging him. We're just saying Rock.
But we're about to.
Rock.
Bro.
Look, Rock. You walk out there, first of all. I'm so excited because I heard the Rock's going to be there, right? I flip on my good old TV, my 65-inch TV. I flip it
Flex.
on. I flip it on because the Rock's going to be on. Rock comes out to the block inside. I'm like, oh, yeah, we're starting hot. We're starting
Man,
perfect.
I hear the music, so I'm already disappointed because I wanted that pop. You know, if you smell, and then the crowd goes crazy. But when you switch it up, they were like,
see, look, this is the moment. Jalen, this is the moment. Two Americas. For me, I popped because I heard the block is hot. He didn't pop because he didn't hear if you smell if the Rock is cooking.
I was confused.
Two Americas.
I am going to continue to be confused through this promo. Go ahead.
Watch this. Walks out to the ring, gets out there. When the Saints go marching in. And he starts singing, and I'm like, okay, I understand the singing bit. You've done that before. But he's like, shut up, you idiot. Stop singing with me. And I'm like, okay.
So Heel Rock's out there being a babyface
Yes.
just to get onto the crowd when they get with him.
Yeah, it was weird. So he keeps talking. He keeps yapping. He talks about how he owns this. He owns that. I'm the owner of this. I know people that own this. Cody comes out, right? I love your kids. My kids hang out with you. Did he tell somebody in the crowd to shut up or I'll smack the crap out? Going back and forth.
Was that the I'll slap the syphilis off your face?
Yeah. Very confused. And then we get to the end where I'm like, bro, have you seen the Dave? You watched Dave Chappelle, right?
Oh, yeah.
It got to the point where I was hitting the wrap that shit up button.
Yeah.
I was hitting it. Wrap it up. Rock, wrap it up.
Yeah.
He gets to the end. I don't want your belt, Cody. I want your soul.
Guess who I was watching this with?
You want what?
I was watching this with my wife, who is the biggest Rock fan in the entire world.
Did she boo him?
We're watching, and we're watching, and we're watching, and I'm like, okay, where are we going? And The Rock has this thing where he's very good at elaborating. Before he gives you the punchline, he's going to elaborate. He's going to tease you. He's going to milk it for all it's worth.
It's like a build-up.
Yeah, and then he'll get there, and instead of giving it to us, he'll elaborate some more.
Yeah.
Almost to the point where I literally looked at my wife, and I'm trying not to be a hater because I love The Rock. The Rock could do anything for crying. He came out a couple months ago with 3 fingers up, and we never know why. We don't even care. It was like The Rock was on.
We just forgave him, yeah.
But I go, what's he trying to say? And then even when he asked for the soul, I was like, are they going to have a match? Like, what are and I guess the whole point of this was to try to turn Cody heel.
Yes.
And be corporate Cody.
Just like the corporate Rock was back
on behalf of The Rock.
Yes.
So very, very cool that they did that. But man, I was like, when are we going to get to it?
Just Wrap it up, Rock.
Jeez.
Wrap it up. Like, Cody, this is not about the belt. This is not about family. This is not about this. I don't want the belt, Cody. I want your soul.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that was a little lost.
No, look, I looked around. I said, "Yo, am I tweaking? Like, am I going crazy? Like, you want his what? Rock, you want his what? Bro, fuck Dustin. I rewinded it to make sure I wasn't going crazy.
Yeah, did I miss a part of this promo? Did I miss? I mean, you could easily look away, or if I'm talking to my wife or something, and then we look and it's like, wait,
and it's still
did
talking.
I miss the point?
But Rock, I love you, bro. But that promo was the weirdest, confusing promo I've heard in a while, because it was one of those things too where he went from babyface to heel, back to babyface, back to heel, then stayed in heel.
Did you see the press conference?
Oh, then he went corporate.
Oh, he was totally, hey, yeah, the Final Rock character, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, like, how many other times did they have a press conference after Monday Night Raw or whatever?
It was SmackDown. But it was
Never.
It was just all weird. But, yeah, that's probably my worst wrestling of the week. But my best wrestling of the week, I want to give a shout out. I didn't tell you this before the show, but this is something I want to give flowers to, because I'm going to ask our guy James Ellsworth about it when he comes on with us. I've been tapped in on this new WWE show on A&E.
Oh,
LFG, Legends and Future Greats. I've been tapped in on this show. I love this show. For those out there that don't know, it's kind of like the new version of Tough Enough, where they're bringing in 16 kind of like
Undertaker, Booker T, Bubba Ray Dudley, Mickey James.
All the 4 legends that are going to coach these prospects, right? There's everything from Olympians to college football players to Evander Holyfield's son's a part of it.
Oh, nice.
There's so many different kind of elements. Like they said, some of these people have been in the Performance Center for weeks. Someone walked in yesterday. Some of them have been there for years. So they're all putting them in one kind of environment to see if they can make a superstar, right? So they call it Legends and Future Greats. Like I said, this new version of Tough Enough. I'm loving it, man, because it's like you have these guys like Booker T that are molding these talents, right? They're teaching them. They're like our boy, your boy Savolsky. What's his name? How you say his name? He came in for
Sapolsky.
He tweeted this. I believe I saw this. He said, if you're an independent wrestler, you're not watching this, they're giving you free game every week because they're teaching you on TV how to become a star.
Exactly. That's exactly what they're doing.
So if you're not watching this show, how about this? How about Rewind? For all of our independent wrestlers out there that they're looking for, what is WWE looking for? What do they want? What do they want me to be? Watch this show. Legends and Future Greats on A&E. They're teaching you the game. It's free on TV. They're telling you, be more intense. Give us this, give us that. They're telling you through the television, through the show. So I enjoy it. I'm locked in. Every episode comes on I think every Sunday. And they've only had 2 episodes, and I've been wanting more and more of it. So Legends and Future Greats is my best wrestling of the week.
Old school hates that. They're like, you're a mark. Don't be a mark and watch that. It's really frowned upon to watch the programming and to buy shirts like we do.
Really?
John Cena towels and all that stuff. It's like, oh, you're being a mark. I hate to break it to you guys, though. The only reason that I'm in the wrestling business, the only reason that I have Memphis Wrestling, the only reason that I do this podcast is because I'm a wrestling nerd. I love it.
It's just like sports.
I still love it.
I love basketball. I love sports. That's why I'm in the sports business.
That's it.
Right? Like, I don't do this stuff just because I'm just doing it. Like, we love this. Like,
would it suck to get paid to do this and hate wrestling or something?
Oh, yeah, I'd be miserable.
A lot of the guys are wrestling and they hate it.
Yes.
And I just don't. I think that's insane.
And if you watch the show, there's people that want. These are people that want to be in. They're athletes. They're top notch athletes, by the way.
Yeah.
These ain't just random Joe Smo looking dudes that are coming off the couch eating Popeye chicken nuggets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These are 2%ers cut up. So yeah, Legends of Future Greats. Y'all tap in.
One last thing before we move on to my best wrestling that I watched all week. At what point are we going to start putting Booker T on the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling?
He's for sure up there because I think he's on probably like if there was a next like the left out like the
yeah, but why can't he be on the Mount Rushmore? I mean, he's had so many world tag team title runs. He's had so many world heavyweight title runs. He's a 2-time Hall of Famer.
Booker's up there.
He's literally running one of the top independent wrestling companies in the entire United States. He's on LFG. He's on NXT. At what point? What point does Booker T go on the Mount Rushmore? Not the secondary or third. At what point is he on there?
I think he's not on the Mount Rushmore. I think he's on the next level for me because on mine, there's hard to beat the Takers. It's hard to beat the Stone Colds. It's hard to beat the Shawn Michaels. It's hard to find a spot for Booker T, bro. And I'm a Booker T stan.
We need to book Booker on here.
Like Booker T is one of the greatest of all. Like,
yeah,
we talked about people that black wrestlers. Booker T is one of our. He's one of our. Kind
is
of
he the greatest black wrestler of all time?
I think so. I think he may be the greatest black wrestler of all time. And if I'm trying I'm trying to think. Mark Henry.
Booker's got him beat. The Rock. Are you counting The Rock in that?
He's Samoan.
Okay,
but,
Samoan.
I mean, cool. We're talking about black, bro. We're talking about black.
Booker T's got to be the greatest.
Yeah, I think he may be the greatest black wrestler of all time.
Absolutely. So he deserves to be on the Mount Rushmore. Okay.
Shout out Booker T, man.
Shout out. Love you, Book. Book's awesome. All right, best wrestling I watched all week. I'm going to stick with you. It's The Rock and Cody. It's also the worst wrestling that I watched all week. I was super excited because it made me feel like that The Rock is going to be at WrestleMania in some capacity. We're on the road to WrestleMania, Elimination Chamber. We'll talk about that here in just a second. But just imagine if Cody does turn and you've got corporate Cody along with The Rock going against the man who wins the Elimination Chamber this weekend, the biggest babyface in the world, chasing number 17. You could have heel Cody versus babyface John Cena at WrestleMania for the WWE Undisputed Championship.
I don't hate that because I thought about the same thing, right?
What if Cody doesn't turn yet? What if we get a babyface match until the finish?
And then he turns heel.
They screw Cena over,
yeah.
And now Cena's chasing for the rest of the year before he gets 17.
I don't know if Cena's in there for long term like
Put
that.
me in the writing room.
Yeah, look at this guy.
Give me the pin, baby.
Fantasy book Dustin 5-star over here.
Woo!
Oh, he's jacked up over there.
Dude, babyface Cena versus heel Cody would be awesome. Babyface would be great.
But my question for you is, what does Roman come in?
Roman would have to fight CM Punk and Seth Rollins in that triple threat that you already set up at Royal Rumble.
Okay, I can rock with that. I think an underrated feud that I'm looking forward to. I know you mentioned the whole like corporate Cody thing. I'm looking forward to that. This Solo versus Jacob Fatu match is going to be a banger. And the WWE is doing a great job every week dropping little small tea leaves, whether it's Solo redoing the thing he did with Roman where he cuts him off, where Solo's cutting a promo and Jacob just jumps in like
this is like a mid-card feud right here.
He cuts the promo, jumps in, Solo's like looking at him like, yo, what the?
Yeah.
Like this is setting up.
I like it. You don't have much for Solo. And Jacob Fatu's so new, it's almost like you can't give it all to him right now.
And the mud is so over.
And they're
right
like
now.
at the higher part of the mid card.
Yeah.
And to have a bloodline match where Jacob Fatu could potentially beat Solo Sikoa, and there is a lot of equity in Solo Sikoa at this point, so it could really elevate Jacob Fatu.
You know what I mean?
Nah, I mean,
bro, that dude when he says I'm gonna beat your ass, I every time he says it, I'm like, yo, you got it, dog.
I believe him
because. I will say this too on the show, and I'm gonna make this the clip, and because I love. There's something about Jacob Fatu, and this is wrestling, right? We talk about wrestling. I talk about Vernon and them all the time. There's something about these wrestlers where I want to believe that you might kick my ass.
Oh yeah.
Like I want to believe at some point if I went mano with you in a squared circle that you would kick my ass, right? Jacob Fatu is one of them dudes where if he got in a squared circle, I don't know what the hell he might do.
He might kill you.
And that's what I love about him. Jacob Fatu is he is a future world champion. He is a future Hall of Famer. I think he's going to be one of the greats, bro. Jacob Fatu is one of them ones. He can do things nobody else can do. And I just bought a Jacob Fatu shirt. That's why I'm saying all this. Hey, now. But shout out Jacob Fatu, man. We're rocking with you, man.
All right, so Elimination Chamber is coming up this Saturday. You can watch. What is it, on Netflix? Is that where this is? No watch party. We do not have a watch party. It's on Peacock. So you got the Elimination Chamber. We're going to catch up with James Ellsworth and ask him about this here in just a moment. But let's talk just for a second about the three big things happening at Elimination Chamber this weekend. The first one we've already discussed a little bit. The Rock has told Cody that he wants his answer at Elimination Chamber. So we will get The Rock and Cody face-to-face in the ring at Elimination Chamber. Then we have the two big chamber matches. The first one's the men, Damian Priest versus Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre versus John Cena versus CM Punk. What a star-studded Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be great. The Elimination Chamber is always unique because it's one of those like kind of like niche events for WWE, right? Where you don't really get like those specialty matches as much as we do.
Well, the importance is WrestleMania, right?
You set up Mania, right?
Yeah.
You set up Mania with these specialty matches. I'm looking forward to it. Let me. Can you read off who's in the men's chamber so I can?
So Damian Priest, Logan Paul,
Okay.
Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, John Cena, and CM Punk.
Cena has to win, right?
I think Cena's got to win.
He didn't win Rumble, so he has to win this.
Well, the chase is over.
yeah.
I mean, it's not over, but it's over right now because the Elimination Chamber is the next way to get to WrestleMania. So if John Cena doesn't punch his ticket to WrestleMania, what does he do at WrestleMania? He's not going to miss.
Nah, it's his last run. Like, he
Yeah.
has to be in the main event, right?
He's got to.
So I'm going to go, if I'm picking the Elimination Chamber, I'm going to go John Cena to win it for the men's side. The women's, I'm a little iffy on, right? I'm a little iffy. Can you read off the...
Yeah, check this out. Liv Morgan.
Okay.
Bailey.
Okay. Also, by the way, have you noticed that she's gone back to her hugger font on her shirts? She's gone the same font that she used to use for her hugger gear back in the day.
Going back.
She's going back to the color. Shout out to you, Bailey.
All right, Liv Morgan,
Shout out to you in
Bailey,
the celebrity game.
Naomi, Bianca, Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez.
Ooh.
Now,
Okay.
Roxanne Perez is here to build her stardom. She's being featured in a... Now, she could win this thing, but I don't think that she wins this. But I think that this is a good spot for her, very much like Carmelo Hayes.
Yes.
He's always on television. He's always featured in a great match. He might not always win, which is fine because we know who he is now.
Yeah.
So same thing with Roxanne Perez. But if I'm looking at WrestleMania, and the winner will face Rhea Ripley...
They're setting this up because you have Bianca and Naomi in the match together, the tag champs.
But I think at that point, there's going to be something with Jade.
Yeah, it's coming.
So I think they're already taken for WrestleMania. So I think you got to have Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley in a rematch at Mania.
Respectfully,
Who you got?
I'm so done with the Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan crap.
Who you got?
I really can't pick a winner, bro, because I don't care about Liv winning because I've seen the Liv and Rhea stuff already. Who else you say? Who's the second one?
You got Liv Morgan, Bailey, Naomi,
Bailey.
Bianca.
I'll go Bailey.
Really? So Bailey won
By
Royal Rumble
default.
last year. Bailey wins Elimination Chamber this year.
I think the Jade stuff, like you said, I think Bianca and Naomi Jade's gonna find a way into this match somehow because you can't have a tag team champion in the freaking match, bro. That's weird. Something's gonna happen with that. And then the Roxanne Perez person, I don't even know who she is, and she's in the match, so she can't win.
That's why I say Liv Morgan.
So
You got a
by
good
the-
one on Bailey though.
And I can't. I'm out on the Liv Morgan versus Rhea. I've seen it too many times. I want to see some fresh new blood. I'm gonna go Bailey to win the match.
Well, let's ask somebody who might know just a little bit more about it. Somebody who's probably even touched this Elimination Chamber, if not competed into
Did he
it.
lick it?
I don't know. Why would he lick it?
I don't know.
No, let's ask him. Yo, James Ellsworth, what's going on? Welcome to Grind City Wrestling.
What's up, Dustin? How are you guys down there in Tennessee?
Doing great.
doing
We're
well,
sitting
man.
here talking about the Elimination Chamber. I know that you've been a part of the Royal Rumble, of course, history making Money in the Bank for the women. Any stories about the Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, so I was on one Elimination Chamber show. It was when Carmella and I we had like a luxury box there. I can't remember what was that. It's actually the show where Bray Wyatt won the WWE title in the Elimination Chamber. And I did get in the chamber before the show, and like I was like a kid at a jungle gym. I was just jumping around and having fun in it.
Does it look like it hurts the way it does on TV?
It looks stiff.
Oh my God, yeah. So Dustin will tell you the wrestling ring hurts enough. When you add steel to it and you're falling off steel into a ring, yeah, it definitely hurts. It's not for the weak in heart, for sure.
All right, so you've been following WWE. I kind of follow you on TikTok and a little bit of stuff like that. Don't ask me why, but will you be watching the Elimination Chamber?
Well, I do. I'm wrestling Saturday in Pennsylvania, but
Okay.
I'll probably have it on my phone there, and as I'm waiting to wrestle my own match at the time. But yeah, sure, I'll have it on.
We need picks, James. We need your picks.
We just went through our picks. We're going John Cena in the men's, and we're a little split on the women's. Just thinking about these stories, I took Liv Morgan because I think Liv and Rhea rematch at WrestleMania, the big blow off, and Devin took Bailey. I think he just likes Bailey.
Yeah,
Who you got?
I love Bailey.
I don't have either one of them. I think they've finished the Liv Morgan Rhea Ripley story already. Bailey versus Rhea would be okay, but I don't think there's much of a story there. I think the person that's going to win the Elimination Chamber for the women's is Alexa Bliss. Because you have to get the Wyatt Six involved here at some point, right? And what better way to do it than them possibly helping Alexa Bliss win the Elimination Chamber and Rhea Ripley going into a rivalry with not only Alexa Bliss, but the Wyatt Six as well.
Wow. I kind of like that. I kind of like that too. I like the darkness of it.
Well, just imagine the production with this big elimination chamber there, and then all the smoke and the lights and all the cool stuff that they could do. So I'm in on that. What about the men?
So the men, it's a little tricky, right? Like everybody thinks it's kind of a done deal for Cena, but to me, like Cena, he should be chasing the title all year. Like he came in second place in the Royal Rumble. Maybe he comes in second place in the Elimination Chamber. Maybe he's about to grab the Money in the Bank and he gets pushed off the ladder and he comes in second place there. He's chasing that all year is what I would do with Cena. So I'm not picking Cena for the Elimination Chamber. I think Cody Rhodes says no to giving his soul to The Rock, right? And I think CM Punk says yes to it.
Whoa.
Yeah, curveball. Speaking of John Cena, I got to ask you, Jen, because you were around some time when Cena was kind of like, he was cracking, right? He was the one. He was that dude. 5 moves to death, all the Cena stuff. Do you have like a good John Cena story? Because I feel like everybody has a Cena story at this point.
Oh, absolutely. He was so great to be around. But I got to work with him, Carmella and I, against him and Nikki Bella on SmackDown in a mixed tag match. And there's this video on my TikTok, since Dustin follows my TikTok, I guess he's seen this. There's a picture of Cena and I from an autograph signing in 2006 where I was passing out flyers for the promotion that I trained with. And yeah, it was a signing in Washington, D.C., where we were going to have a show 2 weeks later. And I walked up to Cena while he was doing the signing and said, "Hey, my name's James, and, you know, I've been wrestling for, at that point, 4 years." I said, "I'm going to wrestle you someday." And he said, "Okay, I'll see you then, brother," and shook my hand. And, you know, he kind of did it tongue-in-cheek because obviously I'm 5'8", 160 pounds, and I don't, you know, not the most cosmetically cleansing guy, but, you know, I did my thing with what I have to work with. So anyway, right before we went out for the match, I said, "John," I said, I just really want to tell you this before we go out and work. I said, "Here's a picture of you and I from 2006. I said, I told you I was going to wrestle you one day." And, like, he teared up and just gave me this big hug before we went out there and worked. And then the back end of that match, this is a funny story. So he finished me with the attitude adjustment and the STFU. So he hit me with the attitude adjustment and the STFU. So after the match, I thanked him for the match, and I told him, I said, "Always remember, it took both your finishes to beat me."
I love it. Was this the tag team match?
That's great.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just looking it up here. John Cena, Nikki Bella versus James Ellsworth and Carmella. I mean, that sounds like money right there. I'm going to go back and check that out. And speaking of Carmella, she just announced that she's not coming back to WWE. Any scoop on that?
Nothing yet. I know she's been a little bit under the weather this week. Her and I, like, if I text her, she'll text back. We've always been very friendly. We loved working together. She's a great person. I think her contract was just up, and, you know, I think that's just really the gist of it. They just didn't resign her because her contract was up. And I know she's doing a podcast later on this week to go over, I guess, the why and when and how and all that. So, I can't speak for her, but I know she is doing a podcast later this week about it. So
we'll have to check that out. Catching up with James Ellsworth. You're going to be in Memphis at Memphis Wrestling this Sunday, along with Matt Hardy. The place is going to be packed to the rafters. I can't wait to see you coming up this weekend. You guys can meet James Ellsworth along with Matt Hardy and the Stars of Memphis Wrestling. Get those tickets at memphiswrestling.tv. Now, just like we could do here in Memphis and we have independent wrestling, you run a promotion where you are. Give me your thoughts on this whole WWE ID program. How has it affected you? Do you like it? Because you've worked in a lot of different places, so you have a different perspective than probably most of us do.
Yeah, so, it's very fresh, right? I know you guys have a guy there that's signed on to it, which is really cool. We have a girl here in Maryland, Zeta Steele, who's also signed to it, who I've reached out to about doing a couple of my shows coming up. She's a very talented girl. I don't know much about it. I guess, what it is, it's a prospect patch, right? Kind of like if you're, joining up with a like, I don't want to say biker gang, but if you're like, they have prospects, right? And they get a little prospects patch. That kind of what it reminds me of. So they got their eyes on these people, and they want to possibly sign these people in the future. So they want to see their progression throughout the independents before they decide to give them a contract. That's my understanding of it.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. They'll pay these guys and gals to be able to fly around, maybe get some supplements, gym membership, whatever it is that they didn't have the money for. That's supposed to help them get booked in other places, progress their training, and all that good stuff. So there's a new WWE ID championship that they've announced. Triple H announced and showed the pictures. I think it was last week. So a men's and women's championship. They're going to be defended on the independent scene. Devin, you got a question?
Yeah, I want to ask because we talking about the independent scene. It's just like they have the Evolve show coming up.
Yeah.
I mentioned the LFG show that's on A&E right now, where they're kind of training these 18 prospects to be the next kind of NXT superstar. James, like, what do you think about the kind of like the next wave of stars? Because it seems like WWE is really trying to find that next star, right? And like and try to find the next kind of person to be that person, right?
Well, I love the fact that for a while there, they weren't even looking at independent wrestlers anymore, right? They were like signing college athletes.
Right.
Like, to me, it's cool to sign college athletes, but you never know where you're going to find that next star. It could be on the independents where people are scratching and crawling and trying to learn the craft, obviously, but it could be a college athlete who just has the look, has the charisma, has the athletic ability. So you just never know where you're going to find that next star, and you should try all avenues to look for these people, right? In my humbled opinion.
Yeah, Matt Hardy had something to say about that too, saying that your in-ring work and your character work should be taken into consideration together instead of just that evolve, quote-unquote, evolve style of wrestling or whatever. Anyway, wrapping things up here with James Ellsworth. Huge weekend coming up. You're coming back to Memphis, man. Any good Memphis stories before we go?
Oh, man, I love coming down there, being with you guys. Memphis, I mean, obviously, it's got so much wrestling history. And, it's just a great place for, like, you guys have such an outstanding fan base there. I remember the first time I came there, I was blown away by the Wrestle Center. I really enjoyed coming. When I was doing WWE, I loved coming, and I remember we did a SmackDown there. I think it was like 2000. I did a couple there. I think my last one there might have been 17 or 18. And yeah, man, nothing in particular. I just love all the history that's there, and I think you guys really grab that history there with the Wrestle Center and the old school style of what you guys do, and I always have a good time coming down there and performing for the Memphis wrestling fans.
All right, James Ellsworth, thank you so much for joining us here on Grind City Wrestling. We'll see you on Sunday.
See you guys then.
James Ellsworth, man, dude, such a great interview. He's great to work with.
For sure.
But you know what? All the people hate him.
Oh, hey, look, man, that's the way it is.
It's so easy. It doesn't even matter what you do when James Ellsworth's in town because they're going to boo him out of the building anyway.
We talked about this, bro. In the wrestling business, there's good guys and there's bad guys, and James Ellsworth's always been good at being a bad guy.
Yes.
So shout out to him, man, for doing his thing. I remember him back when him and Carmella had that run. I was a big fan of Carmella back in the day.
Me too.
Shout out to her. But yeah,
still am. But they were like the perfect pairing because it was like Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, type shit. Yeah,
very easily Beauty and the Beast.
So yeah, shout out James Ellsworth, man. I appreciate it. That Cena story was great too because it's like you hear this aura of Cena, right? Or like you hear these stories of Cena of like him being just a good dude, right? Of like I've read stuff about him. You see stuff about him, all the Make-A-Wish stuff. Like I want to know is it really John Cena? And for him to tell that story is like, you know what? That actually maybe to him to cry, when he told him that story, like, yeah, Cena might be one of them. Cena is one of them ones, man.
I love what he said about Cena continuing the chase through Money in the Bank.
I like that
because
too.
there is another opportunity.
You got to keep chasing, man.
Got to keep chasing,
and then you finally cash in.
Oh, man, that would be great. Okay, so running a little bit long. Huge weekend coming up. This Saturday, Memphis Grizzlies Wrestling Night. Be here at 5 o'clock to get those pregame matches. Get your Desmond Bain, Maine wrestling buddy, then head in for more matches. Big halftime match taking place. Matt Hardy's going to be in the house.
Oh, yeah!
Along with the stars of Memphis Wrestling. And then on Sunday, come meet Matt Hardy and James Ellsworth, if you want to. MemphisWrestling.tv. Get you all the tickets. Devin, what you got going on this weekend?
I have a birthday coming up. My birthday's on Sunday.
Oh,
so
you going to pull up for your birthday?
I don't know if I want to do wrestling for my birthday.
What?
We'll
With
see.
Matt Hardy?
I'm going to see Matt Hardy on Saturday.
Man, I wish you would just show up just to walk through the lobby as the VIP's going on.
Oh, it's gonna be crazy. I think it's
you're
gonna
gonna
be
be like,
it might be your craziest VIP experience you've had since you've had the Wrestle Center.
if we date back to October with Danhausen, then you had Joe Hendry, then you had Violent J,
Yeah, I think Matt
then you
Hardy.
had Nick Nemeth, and then you had Matt Hardy. That's 5 in a row. That is a star-studded lineup. You think Matt's going to be the biggest one?
Matt's gonna be the biggest one because I think Matt is a connection to not just current wrestling. He's a connection to the childhood. Like there's a lot of people going to be at that building Sunday that have never been to the Wrestle Center because they heard Matt Hardy's going to be there, and Matt Hardy, like me, is a connection to is a connection to that nostalgic Hardy Boy era, bro. The Hardy Boys, bro. I'm telling you, I didn't have enough time to rant. Look at that. Oh, the other way. That's the photo of James Ellsworth.
Nice.
That's super dope. We gotta make that a TikTok reel or something like that. That is super dope.
Follow Ellsworth on TikTok, too. He's pretty funny.
Tap in on him on TikTok. But no, bro, he's like it's like the nostalgia. Like every person you named, they're current stars, right? Matt Hardy is a connection to the current and the past, and I think it's gonna bring a crazy crowd.
Nick Nemeth warned me. He said, you better start early.
Bro, it's gonna be insane.
He said that the Hardy Boys, and Matt confirmed this, that their autograph sessions after the TNA pay-per-view or after the event are longer than the actual event.
I'm telling you, bro. Matt Hardy is a connection to the current and past wrestling fan.
Let's do it.
He's like, bro, it's gonna be crazy. I hope he got security.
And, by the
He got
way,
security, bro.
I asked Matt Hardy last week, it feels like you're going to be back in WWE very, very soon. You know what happened the very next day?
He wrestles tonight.
He wrestles tonight on NXT.
Yeah.
Then coming to Memphis for the FedEx Forum at Grizzlies, and then
I'm for me, y'all know how I am, bro.
I love it.
I don't get excited for a lot of things in life. I try to keep it cool. I try to keep it mellow. I kind of try to keep it P at all times. But I'm gonna wear that Matt Hardy shirt. I'm gonna wear that Hardy Boy shirt on Saturday.
All right.
And I'm gonna wear that mug with pride because my guy Matt Hardy's gonna be in the building. I want to be a Hardy Boy on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all lucky I couldn't find one of those shirts with no sleeves on it. Y'all lucky. But yeah, Matt Hardy, man, he's coming this weekend. I can't wait.
we'll have to hunt you down and say hello.
Oh
on
yeah,
Saturday.
I'm definitely gonna dap him up. I'm like, bro, I went viral for talking about your brother. Is that true or not? Is that true or not?
It's absolutely true. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have this week on Grind City Wrestling. Big shout out to James Ellsworth. Shout out to Matt Hardy. We're going to see him this weekend. He's Devin Walker. I am Dustin Starr. Saying, so long, everybody.
They don't make tag team wrestling like the Hardy Boys, baby.
If we were a tag team, what would our names be? We like the Dudleys, or we like the Hardys, or
I don't know.
maybe like Ellsworth and Carmella.
Yeah, probably.